It's 11:47 p.m. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The house is quiet. Everyone's asleep. But your mind won't stop. You're running the numbers again. The mortgage, the car payment, the credit card you swore you'd pay off 3 months ago. And somewhere in the middle of all those numbers, a thought creeps in. Quiet, almost embarrassed. I worked this hard. And this is it. That thought is not weakness. That's not ingratitude. That's your soul telling you something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. And tonight, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. In 1974, a psychologist at Stanford named Mark Lepper ran an experiment that would quietly explain why millions of hardworking Americans never escaped the financial ceiling they were born beneath. He took children who genuinely loved drawing, kids who grabbed crayons the second they had free time, pure passion, zero obligation. He split them into two groups. One group got rewarded every time they drew gold stars, little prizes, recognition. The other group drew simply because they wanted. 2 weeks later, he removed the rewards. The kids who were never rewarded, still drawing, still creating, still completely lost in their own world. The kids who got the gold stars, they stopped, almost completely. The moment the external reward disappeared, so did everything else. Psychologists call this the over-justification effect. When you attach an external reward to something, your brain slowly stops doing it for internal reasons. The reward becomes the only reason. Now think about your own life. Maybe at 17 or 18, you had something you loved, something that made time disappear, a skill, a curiosity, a dream that felt almost too big to say out loud. Then the world sat you down. Your parents, your guidance counselor, your entire culture said, that's great, but what's the stable option? What's going to pay the bills? So you made the responsible choice, the degree that made sense, the career with benefits, the salary that felt like safety, and on paper it looked like success. But something quiet started dying inside you, and you couldn't explain it. So you just called it being an adult. Here's what nobody told you. The moment you started working purely for a paycheck, your brain began rewiring itself. Every Friday deposit, every performance review, your mind learned one devastating lesson: I do this for the reward. Not for love, not for purpose, for the reward. And just like those kids in the experiment, the fire started going out. This is only the first layer of the trap. And trust me, it goes much deeper. Yesterday, I showed you how the system slowly kills your internal drive. Today, I want to show you something even more disturbing. I want to show you why even when you see the trap, you still can't seem to move. Meet someone. I'll call Daniel. He's 34, lives outside Columbus, Ohio, works in supply chain management, makes around $72,000 a year, which sounds decent until you factor in the mortgage, 2 car payments, the kids' activities, the student loans that feel permanent. Daniel is smart. Daniel works hard. And every few months, Daniel watches a video, maybe like this one, and for about 20 minutes, he's completely on fire. He's ready to change everything. Start the business. Make the move. Build something real. Then Monday comes, and Daniel goes back to work. Why? Because of something called loss aversion. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman proved that the human brain feels the pain of losing something roughly twice as powerfully as the joy of gaining something equivalent. In plain English, the fear of losing what you have is almost always stronger than the excitement of getting what you want. Daniel has a mortgage, a paycheck, a life that, while not thrilling, functions, and the thought of risking any of that, even for something genuinely better, feels like standing at the edge of a cliff. So he waits. He plans. He says when the timing is right, but the timing is never right, because timing was never the real issue. Fear was. And here's the part that should make you angry. The system around you wasn't built to help you escape that fear. It was built to make the fear feel reasonable. The moment your salary increases, lifestyle inflation kicks in. Bigger apartment, nicer car, better vacations. Raises come, but savings never grow. You run faster on a treadmill that keeps accelerating. Credit cards let you feel wealthy before you actually are. Buy now, pay later, practically the American national slogan. Every swipe trains your brain to associate spending with relief and reward, even when you're quietly going backwards. And social media shows you everyone's highlight reel, the vacation, the promotion, The new house. Your brain, wired for social comparison since the beginning of human history, looks at all of that and feels. Behind us, oh, you spend more to feel equal. And the cycle tightens. This isn't an accident. This is the architecture of the trap. Comfortable enough that you don't revolt. Stretched enough that you can't escape. A golden cage is still a cage. We've talked about what built the trap. We've talked about why your brain keeps you inside it. Now let's talk about the only thing that actually breaks it. In 1998, psychologist Carol Dweck introduced research that reframed human potential forever. She identified two ways people see themselves. A fixed mindset says, I am who I am. My ceiling is basically set. A growth mindset says, where I am right now is not where I have to stay. And her research proved something that should shake you. It wasn't the smartest students who succeeded long term. It wasn't the most naturally gifted. It was the ones who believed that effort could actually change the outcome. But here's the dark irony. The American school system trained most of us directly into a fixed mindset. It rewarded right answers, not good questions. It punished failure instead of teaching us that failure is just data. It taught us to perform, not to explore. So we graduated, got jobs, and carried that conditioning into every decision we ever made. Play it safe. Don't make waves. Stay in your lane. And millions of capable, intelligent, hardworking Americans decided, without even realizing it, that the lane they were in was the only lane available to them. So let me ask you something direct. In the last 30 days, have you done anything that genuinely scared you? Anything that pushed past your current comfort zone? Anything where failure was a real possibility? If the answer is no, you're not growing. You're maintaining. And in a world that keeps moving, maintaining is just a slow way of falling behind. Tonight, when the house gets quiet and the ceiling becomes your whole world, again, ask yourself one question. Not, how do I make more money? That's a tactic. You don't need tactics right now. You need the truth. Ask yourself, am I living the life I actually chose? Or the life I was handed and told to be grateful for? If something moves in your chest when you ask that, if something tightens in your throat, if for just 1 second you feel the weight of years spent playing small, good, that feeling is not your enemy. That is the last alive part of you refusing to give up. The trap is real. The fear is real. The system that profits from your complacency is very, very real. But so are you. The rope was never around your feet. It was always in your mind, built from fear, from conditioning, from a lifetime of being told that safe was the same thing as smart. It's not. You were built for more than this. Sealing the proof? You're still searching, still watching, still refusing to accept that this is all there is. That refusal is everything. Don't waste it.